clear the other clutter as well, because a lot of you guys had asked about scholarships in specific. So scholarships in my time used to be slightly varied. Today they are slightly different. So let me talk about what happens today. Agar you decide that you want to go for a CFA today, hypothetically, and you want to, of course, maximize your odds of getting a scholarship, the first time that you can give your attempt would be August of 2025. The registration for scholarship, and I'm only talking about access scholarship right now. Women's scholarship and others are different. I don't want to get too much in depth, which is specific ones, but this is a scholarship which is open to everyone. This scholarship is available for you to apply on either like from 6th November to 25th of November, which is the upcoming month. आप इस scholarship के लिए apply कर सकते हो, but let me tell you one thing. Don't jump into and write this scholarship, because the scholarship that gets given to you is actually, I mean, if you're not really sure that you want to give it, I would suggest aap mat dena, because it can really help someone who's in genuine need of it. It should not be done that you apply for a scholarship and don't give an exam. So make up your mind. You have time till 15th of November to make up your mind whether or not you want to go for it, which is like a 1 month time frame, and then you can decide whether or not you want to give your application for scholarship. This is access scholarship. Iska basically there are two criteria behind the access scholarship. The criteria number one is that you should be meritorious, so it's merit. The criteria number two is you should have a genuine need of it. So it's a merit come need based scholarship. You should have merit, and you should also have genuine need in order to get this particular scholarship. Let me tell you why a lot of people do not get their scholarship, at least on the first go. Either they focus too much on their need. They're like, acha, we are Indians, we'll write a story faked up numbers, and put in a kind of income that they will eventually feel the need that you should get this scholarship. Trust me, that doesn't work. Second is the kind of people who focus only on their entire journey and their merit, that I've done this, I've done that, because of all the things that I've done in my life so far. I topped class 12 in my BCom. I'm the rank holder, rank number 1, and all of those things. Sadly, a lot of those people who focus only on merit are also not going to get the scholarship. So you have to focus on both. Let me tell you one thing. With my scholarship applications, which I had put for all 3 levels, I got scholarships across all 3 levels on the first go. I did not fake any of my income or anything. My income was genuine and it was decent, which will at least be like 5-10x of what people usually write to get a scholarship. At least they are like कि अपना family income इतना कम दिखा देते हैं that I get the scholarship. Doesn't really work like I told you, right? So I gave genuine correct numbers, and always be genuine with your application essays. And I want to go a little into application essays as well, so that you get an idea about what is it that they're actually looking for in these scholarships, right? So like I have already given you a brief background, there are 2 things that they will evaluate on. Number 1 is merit. Second one is need. There will be 2 essays that you will have to write in order to ensure that you get this scholarship. Before I delve into what is to be done in those scholarships essays, let me tell you what is not to be done. Number 1, do not write anything fake, which I've already told you. And most important, number 2, don't get this essays done from ChatGPT. It's very easy to figure out today what is AI written and what is not. The moment you write something from AI, I'm not saying there's 0% chance that you will get the scholarship, but the odds go considerably lower. So it has to be a human written personal essay, which makes sense to the people, that the reader should be enticed into giving you scholarship. So let me just write down the questions that are asked within these 2 scholarships, and let me hear your perspective. It's been a long monologue that I have done so far. I want to hear your perspective as to what do you think is required in these 2 questions, if at all you have any idea. And just one caveat, the essays are 250 words each. So there will be a box. In that box, you can only write 250 words. Up 251 words bhi nahi likh paoge, because that dialog box that's open over there, it won't accept anything. So you have 250 words each among these 2 questions. which will determine your fate, whether you end up spending 4 lakhs on your degree or whether you end up spending मेरे केस में थोड़ा कम था because L1 के time पे it was much more cheaper, but less than 1 lakh for your overall designation. So I want to open up and hear from you. What do you think is the requirement in these two questions, and give me separate answers? That, sir, I think question number 1 should focus on this, and I think question number 2 should focus on this. Would love to hear someone out, someone raising their hands, and we can have a discussion right now. Yes, Tisha, please.
So I feel question number one suggests that how getting a scholarship is going to help you in your career in CFA.
Mhm.
And the second question tells you that how is it going to help the society after you've been a CFA.
Broadly, it hits the nail, like the first nail at the right spot. And if we are to go deeper into this, let me give you my perspective and what worked for me, because to each their own is the idea. But what essentially worked for me in my applications were, the first one is, what prompted you to apply for this scholarship? And if you guys are sitting on something, I would request up notes lelo, it will help your cause a lot. There are 3-4 things that you need to address within the first one. First thing that you want to touch upon is your background. Like, what prompted you to apply for this scholarship has a lot to do with your existing background. What is the background that you come from? You need to showcase that you have a genuine interest in the field of finance. So you will only apply for a scholarship with CFA if you have a genuine interest in the field of finance, not because आपको ऐसे लिखने का मन करता है, or just because one fine day you woke up and you wanted to write a scholarship essay, you wrote it. Not that way. In this 250 words, and trust me, it will be a very painful exercise to clutter everything down, declutter everything down and put it into 250 words. It'll be a very painful exercise because the word limit is very, very low. It's extremely less to cover up everything that I'm saying. But first thing is to show a genuine interest and desire in the field of finance, and a genuine interest and desire in the field of CFA. You also need to very briefly touch upon your long-term career goals. Very briefly. When I say very briefly, आपको एकदम specific होना ही नहीं है. That I want to become a research analyst is not what you want to cover up over here. You only want to cover up this fact that you only want to portray this fact that you want to build a career in the field of finance, and a CFA designation is going to help you in order to be able to get that. So this is like the first, I would say, 60 to 70 words where you have to show genuine interest and the fact that you understand what this scholarship can help you achieve. After that comes the second phase, where you have to showcase that you are someone who's meritorious. What prompted you to apply for this scholarship is that you have a lot of merit backing you up. You are someone who is genuinely interested, and not just interested, which you discuss in the first 60 70 words, but also has a proven track record or a history of doing something, or giving results out of your work. It can be class 12 ka results, it can be getting exceptional scores, it can also be participating in your college fests, which has got a lot to do with finance, or it can be something else which showcases that you have the merit which you have already showcased in terms of doing that. And finally, you have to connect all of these dots together and say that, you know what, I'm genuinely interested in this. You know what, I understand what I want to do over the long term. You know what, CF is going to help me do this. And you know what, I've already done so many things, which means that I am a capable candidate. And towards the end, back it up by saying that while you have all of these things in place, for any, I mean, unless you're exceptionally rich, of course, it's a different thing. Even at a very, decent income, you will be in a position wherein paying 1.5 lakhs just for registering for CFA L1 may be a very big challenge for a lot of you people. So there you have to showcase that what is really stopping you from doing this is the fee. So if you could get that fee reduced to $400 plus GST, which brings down the overall cost considerably to around 35,000 or something, you will be able to really put a strong throttle on your overall whatever goals you are, and goals you have, and you can achieve those. So that is how you have to connect all of these dots in question number 1. And question number 2, like you mentioned, broader society, of course, is a good way to look at it. But I would say that, again, note down these few things. In question number 2, you have to be a little specific about a few things that we discussed earlier. So I told you that just give a high level introduction of what you want to do, why you are interested in the career of finance. In this one, the second prompt, you can go slightly deeper and give an explanation of, you know what, I am genuinely interested in pursuing whatever, man lo, equity research, right? You have already done exceptional things within this. Maybe you have already written 3 4 research notes. Maybe you already have gone through a lot of this. Maybe you have invested and made a lot of money out of it. Maybe you have seen your parents invest and, get bust out of a few of those investments. So you have genuinely understood that these are the things that you have already done and this is what you want to achieve because of this reason. So second prompt me, you have to go very deep into your overall goals and what prompted you to get into that goal, right? And then you have to close it by including maybe something that you can do for the society. For me, it was saying that I'm going to conduct these kind of sessions, and I have been doing this for a very long period of time. I've also been assisting a lot of other fellow members get a lot of information, insights, not just now, but I've conducted a lot of this in the past as well. So my focal point over here was that, you know what, my interest is this. And how will getting a scholarship make a difference? Well, getting a scholarship will allow me to give CFA L1, L2, or L3, whatever the situation was, whichever application I was making into. And because I got, if I get that scholarship, I'll continue to apply the same level of diligence which I'm doing today for the benefit of everyone, and disseminate my information to a wider audience, and do something good for the society and all of those things. So that is also one way to look at it and end on this note. Here 250 words should ideally be sufficient, because it's an essay with a purpose. First one may there was an essay with 3 4 purposes. Here it's an essay with more or less a single purpose, that getting a CFA designation will allow you to become this, and when you become this, you're going to do this 2 3 transformational things. Maybe you will become a very ethical investor. Maybe you will become an investor who wants to go deep into ESG investing. Maybe you want to be someone who wants to become a lecturer, and you want to impart your knowledge and information to a very wide public, and genuinely create interest for a lot of people who otherwise might have interest in the field of finance but are lost. There are so many of us, right? Ki interest in finance, but I don't know what really to do. So then there you need to connect all of these dots and craft a very, very personalized essay which a chat GPT will never be able to do for you. Let me just read what you've said. Answer to sir, like you, sir, I'll apply for CFA and give the level 1 if I get scholarship. Without it, I won't be able to pursue, since I'm already given FRM L1 in November 2024, and I really want to go into investment banking. Please guide me. So guidance is, again, I mean, it's from a guidance perspective, it remains the same. FRM L1 though, simultaneously, I would suggest whenever your dates are, I hope you will still have time to be able to meet this deadline. And if you're able to meet this deadline, do give a shot to this. One thing that I want to be a little this is off the record. I don't want this to be on the record, but just based on empirical evidence of very handful, matlab, just 10 15 people that I've discussed with, I have seen that reapplicants to the scholarship usually get the scholarship, as long as you're not writing, matlab, agar aap shit nahi likh rahe ho, if you have a genuine interest, sometimes it is possible that despite everything being correct, you may not necessarily get a scholarship. Agar you're not able to get this one, and it is a very big hindrance to you ki bina scholarship aap nahi de sakte. There are so many of us. I would like to believe that 1.5 lakhs is not a small amount, right? So if you write this and you're not able to get this, usually you will get the decision in 4 to 6 weeks. Agar nahi hota hai ye, then apply for this one. That is, if you have genuine interest, number one, and maintain the storyline. Don't change the entire story. One thing again, for reapplicants, abhi I don't want to get into reapplicant because a lot of you must be applicants, but reapplicants mein people what they do is, acha ye wala story work nahi kiya, let me change the entire story and make it work. That is also not going to work. Maintain the story line similar, but of course say that, you know what, last time it didn't work out, but this is something incremental that I've done over the last 3 months, and I think now I deserve a scholarship. So something of that sort needs to come out so that the reader genuinely believes that you need a scholarship. And again, going back to where I started from, only apply for this if you are sure of giving the examination, number one, and if it is genuinely a big amount, which I think a lot of Indians will definitely feel that it's genuinely a very big amount. And don't fake anything. Agar aapka income is X, if your family income is X, whatever bracket it is, nobody gets to know other than the people who read it, who are based out of US, so they don't necessarily care about it. Don't fake on any of the information that you provide. You don't want to be in a position wherein you have done CFA L1, L2, L3, and you get ripped off your degree after clearing L3 because you faked certain information and hid certain information. Like I told you, with a decent income as well, you can get the scholarships.